Hey everybody, and welcome back out there in YouTube land. I'm Kyle Walling. This is my channel. Today I'm going to talk about weeping willow as firewood. Maybe you're on the web and you're looking, you had a tree fall down next to your pond or on your farm and you're just wondering if it's worth saving and burning for firewood. Maybe you're just a firewood enthusiast. Maybe you don't care at all because you already know the answers to these things. Whatever the situation, here we go. These two logs right here are weeping willow that I cut down earlier this year in my storm damage video. Now, that video was taken, I think, in early March, and that's when I found this wood. And it has been dried several months already. So, I mean, it's beginning of January right now of the next year. So it's had almost a year, but I can tell you this wood has been like this since like September, maybe even August. It's been dry. So the first thing you're going to notice if you cut down a big willow tree, I mean, you can see how big this log was. I mean, it was a pretty big, good sized round. This is just a chunk out of it here, and it's pretty light now. I'm going to weigh it here in a minute and show you. This piece right here, there's nothing to it. But it was a beautiful wood when I first cut it. I think I showed the grain in the video, but it had real dark stripes in it, and it was really pretty on the inside. See how it has these stripes in there? Can you see that? But when you first cut it down, the first thing you're going to notice is it's really heavy. And I would say it seemed just like any other hardwood when I brought this round home. I mean, this was a big, heavy piece of wood. And weeping willow is a water-loving tree, so I think it sucks in a lot of water and retains a lot of water when it's alive. So it's heavy and it's full of water, but because it's so, I guess apparently the fibers are so porous, or it actually, I mean, it's such a light wood, actually it dries very fast. So that big heavy waterlogged, say, piece of wood, it was just from a healthy natural tree. It wasn't literally waterlogged, but you know what I mean. That green wood was so heavy, it goes from being full of water to dried, I'd say within 6 or 7 months, because the grain must be really porous and open, so it allows it to evaporate. So once you get the willow split and stacked, that water goes right out of it. So you can see there is nothing to this. I'm going to weigh it in a minute, but this piece of wood is feather light. I mean, it might be a couple pounds. So it's good wood. I mean, you can burn it, no problem. That's what I'm getting at. It's not good for smoking. I wouldn't use it in a smoker or anything like that. But as far as firewood, I mean, yes, it will burn. It will dry pretty fast. You'll get the water out of it quickly if you split it. And you can burn it. It's just going to burn. It's going to make a bright flame and burn pretty quickly. But, I mean, it's anything will burn for firewood. I mean, if you want firewood, it will work. I'm just kind of showing you that it is a lighter wood. The BTU rating on willow is 17.6, so that's pretty low considering, you know, when you get up in your better hardwoods, you're in the high 30s, mid to high 30s, or when you start getting into your higher quality stuff. So let's move on to the next step here and weigh this stuff. And I also just kind of want to show you, I mean, you'll be able to tell from the noise this makes how light this is. So let me just show you that. Okay, so I kind of just moved down to the ground a little bit here, and I'm just going to show you. You can probably hear this, but listen to the noise this makes. I mean, this will give you a clue for just how dry this stuff gets. And I mean, if this was hickory, that would be a heavy piece of wood. I can just throw this around if I want to. But listen to this. I mean, it's just, if you can tell, it's just real light sounding. This is a piece of, I think this is hickory, and it's fully seasoned dried hickory. And you hear the noise that makes. And hear how hard that is? So able to get a feeling for how light this is from that. So next, I have my scale here. I could probably just move right on to the next thing I want to do. Plug it in, but let's weigh this just so you can see. I don't know if this will be shocking or not, but I'm gonna try. Let's see how many pounds this piece of, I mean, it's kind of a slab, but it's real dry. Let's see if I can get this. 3 pounds. 3 pounds, 3 ounces this piece of slab wood weighs. I'm pretty sure it was on the scale. Yeah, it was on there. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. This, see this piece of hickory right here, which is a normal, I mean, that's pretty much a 16-inch nice little piece of firewood. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. So almost 5 pounds for this normal stick of firewood hickory. This is 3 pounds for that big piece of slab. I mean, this is a really big piece of willow right here. I mean, that's a pretty chunky piece of wood, but it's also light. I'm not really gonna mess with that. I just kind of had this here for the decoration aspect of it all. But I mean, that's not, I mean, I'll weigh it just to see. Yeah, that's heavy. I mean, that's 7 pounds, but that's almost 3 times as big as this piece of hickory here. So it's not really a fair comparison. But next, let's check the moisture content just so you can see how dry this is. All right. Let's check the moisture on this just so you can, just to prove to you that it's dry, see how dry it gets. And I'm just gonna have to tell you what it says because this moisture meter, it won't read for some reason in artificial light. It'll read in sunlight, but it doesn't read. 17.4. 17.0. So we're at 17% and it's that light. I mean, I thought it would maybe been lower than that because it just feels bone dry. Now, I mean, that's ready to burn. I got 15.9 here. So 16 or 17%, it's ready to burn, ready to go, but it's already really light. And you could get this thing down probably under 10%. I don't know how much the weight would change or whatever, but 15 or 16% is totally fine for me to burn. And I'm probably gonna throw this in the fireplace tonight or tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna put that on film. I mean, you're not gonna get anything out of seeing me put this on top of a fire. It will burn, I promise you. So if that helped, hopefully that helps somebody. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're cutting down a willow tree or you have a farm or you're thinking about it, I mean, I hate to see trees go to waste. I would save it. If it was me, I would still make firewood out of it and burn it. As long as it's just firewood, it's not a problem. I mean, it's better than, you know, unseasoned pine or something. It's not gonna have creosote. It's gonna burn, it's gonna make heat, it's gonna have a nice flame to it. And it certainly would be good for a fire pit or a campfire or a bonfire. So if you were gonna entertain and have a party and have a bonfire, this stuff would make a nice bright flame and go right up, especially in like the spring or summer. If you didn't want a really hot fire, this would make good flames and you wouldn't have that blazing hot coal bed of like a hickory fire or something. So it'd be great for that as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful and enjoyable. I'll see you guys next time. Willow.